Biz buzz. Bizzity buzz. Buzz. I don't even know what I'm doing. Hi, welcome to the Art Place.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tarbuck Ransom.
And I'm not a vamp. I'm DJ Not a Vamp.
DJ Not a Vamp.
Yeah.
You're becoming
I'm DJ Not a Vamp. I'm DJ Not a Vamp.
DJ Not a Vamp. DJ Not a Vamp.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going YouTube, guys.
So, on our Discord server, there was a prompt to talk about hair removal and grooming and that
Wait,
kind of thing.
Who did it?
I forget. It was in a voice call, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually posted the post.
Yeah, I saw it was you, and then you're like, oh, someone asked for it. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Are you lying to our two listeners?
This is our much requested topic. There has been no small amount of demand
We
for
cannot
us to talk about hair removal.
We just can't stop getting emails about it.
Mm-hmm.
Emails, faxes, telegrams, you name it, we got it.
Have you checked the email part of this channel ever?
I did at one point, but it's your job now.
Okay. Well,
Like,
I probably won't.
Yeah. Nope. No, you won't. So, what about hair removal do we need to talk about?
Okay, so, what do you think about leg shaving?
I think it should be a personal choice. Like, no one should be, told they have to do it. Personally, I like the aesthetic of shaved legs. Oh, gosh, excuse me. Like a bit TMI, I personally have not been shaving my legs because, well, I don't really want to use the water because, unless I'm, for the most part, my legs are covered all the time anyways. So unless I'm wearing something where my legs are going to be shown, then I'm not going to shave my legs because I don't want to waste the water on upkeep that is not needed.
Yeah, you wear skinny jeans at all times, so it's like you're
Except
constantly
when I'm wearing leggings and khakis.
Except when you're wearing leggings.
Yeah.
And khakis.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like your legs are permanently painted.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, so that's my personal stance on it. Otherwise, I think really, if you want to shave your legs, that's fine. If you don't want to shave your legs, that's fine too. Yeah. Why should we care about this shit?
I see.
Except for clogging the drain and using up extra water that,
Gotcha. All right, I can see that. I kind of object to you saying TMI though. Like talking about whether you shave your legs or not should not be a gross thing.
No, it's not that it's a gross thing. It's more I don't know, sometimes, the beauty of wearing skinny jeans and, having your legs covered all the time is that people just don't know. They just assume it's one way, whatever way is going to make them most comfortable, I guess. But, yeah, even that is still, furthering the taboo. So, yeah, that's not really an argument, but I can't help that feels that way, too. And it's also, it's a little bit awkward talking about, body stuff on the internet while also being a girl on the internet or while having a girl body.
Yeah, I getcha.
But I do also agree with you that we should be able to just talk about this.
Yeah, we should be able to just talk about pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Everywhere, always.
Yeah, and not we should just talk about it gosh, I'm thinking so a bit off topic, but there's groups on Whisper for guys ask girls, and the only questions that ever seem to get asked are sexual questions, and it's I want to have information out there so then people understand what the actual average is and how people actually feel about these things, but it's also I know
Can't you talk about anything else?
Yeah, can you talk about anything else? Or, can you guys not focus on just getting a nut every single moment of your life?
Yeah, that is what people are. is
Yeah.
trying to get a nut.
Yeah, and that's part of where, like, you know, the taboo kind of comes from, where it's like openness versus like people like using what I say to assess like how fuckable I am.
Yes.
And being judged on that.
Remember, just the fact that people might ever mistake you for a woman means that your existence is limited to other people trying to get a nut.
Yeah, I know, and you know, it's like patch when.
Patch when.
Yeah. Yeah. So, your thoughts on like shaving?
Okay, so I need to back up a little bit because first, do you think it's wrong for people to have preferences for other people? Because this was my initial point of contact. Because as a kid, I didn't think about leg shaving except as something that women did.
Yeah. Yeah, I typically thought of it as some women did, and then heard that swimmers do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Scooter. You want to chill on my lap?
Scooter's gonna bump the mic.
Bump the mic. Okay, what was I answering? I think it's fine to have preferences because you're gonna have preferences for basically everything.
Mm.
I think when it becomes a question of should and should nots is like, should you like, you know, try to influence your partner to do one thing or another?
Mm-hmm.
That's when it starts becoming shoulds and should nots. And really, like, I think it's a worthwhile discussion to have with your partner because, you know, like, they'll probably care about, you know, looking good for you. But if it's a thing that where they say, like, they have reasons, like, they don't care to, like, they don't, like, you know, it's something they don't really want to worry about, or it makes them feel bad to do it one way or the other, then at that point, you don't really have a leg to stand on when you tell them, but no, I want it this way.
Yeah.
Like, it all depends on where's the boundary of their personal freedom and getting what you want.
Mm-hmm. So I definitely don't think it's wrong to have preferences. And for that matter, if it bothers you enough to not date somebody for it,
okay,
like that's on you.
Yeah.
But it should be phrased as your problem, not their problem.
Of course not. It shouldn't be like, oh, I'm not going to date you because you refuse to do this for me. Mm-hmm. It just be like, I just like people like this. You know? It's like, and that's valid and fine. Just again depends on how you're phrasing it and who you're giving culpability.
Yeah, if you're being shady to somebody for not doing it, then there's two things that are happening there. Mm-hmm. The fact that you have the preference is separate from you being an asshole. Yeah,
that's just you not valuing another person's autonomy.
Yeah.
Like, no one has to date you. No one has to be dateable to you. No one has to, like, with something so inane as, like, appearances that don't really affect anyone but that person, there's no, they must do this or that.
Yeah. And on top of that, I think that if you're going to have a preference like that for other people, it should be a qualified preference. That is, you should not ask anybody to do anything that you're not willing to do yourself. So, if you like shaved legs, motherfucker, shave your legs.
You think so?
Yes, 100%. Which is why, at one point, I tried it. I shaved my legs.
How'd it go? Well, okay. I think that makes sense. Like, so are you saying that, like, if you're going to ask your partner to shave their legs, that then you need to have at least tried it, or that you do it consistently? You
have to have done it at least twice in a row so you can get a feel for what the regimen is like.
Okay, so basically you need to have a representative example of what doing what you're asking would entail.
Yes. Okay. Before that, you can still have the preference, but you have no ability to ask for that for anybody, like, even as a request.
Yeah.
Like, you should know what it is that you're asking.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. What is my first thought? Yeah, like when men tell women to just hold in their period. That's the literal first thing that came to mind.
Uh,
I think that's a fair thing to say. Yeah, now that you've qualified it, yeah. Yeah.
why? How did you originally hear it?
Like, if you ask someone to shave their legs, then you have to also always shave your legs. Like,
What?
Yeah, and that's why I was like, okay. Like, I know Tarbuck has sometimes pretty extreme opinions, but let's check this first. Oh gosh.
This goes for any personal maintenance thing. You want people to wear makeup? First, you're wrong. Second, if you're going to do that, you should do it yourself consistently for like a week, so you can see what it requires.
Yeah, understand what you're asking, like what exactly you're asking someone to do. You're not just asking someone to wear makeup. You're asking them to spend a bunch of money on products that are gonna, that they're going to have to consistently buy. Spend time on doing it and getting it just right. Like, not just like putting it together, but also taking it off at the end of the day, and then also reapplying it basically every time they use the bathroom.
And if you're like, if you hear that and you have the preference, but you're still like, I don't want to do that. That sounds expensive and like a lot of work. Guess what, motherfucker?
Yeah. Don't fucking expect people to do that for you then if you wouldn't even do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about your gender identity. Like, the fact, like, if your objection to it is that it's expensive and a lot of effort, then yeah, it doesn't matter like what you identify as. You're still gonna feel that way.
Yeah. It is that way for everybody.
Yeah.
It's the same amount of work no matter who you are.
Exactly, and that, like...
Unless you're really good at it, in which case it can be slightly less work. That's the kind of thing that comes with practice.
It'll be slightly less work, but, like, still, it will take time. Like,
yep.
Because there's a lot of steps that you need to do in order to get, like, very specific looks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think my sister's good at makeup at this point, but it still does take her a little bit to get it done.
Yeah. And so, like, the other thing that I notice is that a lot of the personal grooming stuff is actually not an aesthetic preference. It's just a veiled way, or at least it doesn't start as an aesthetic preference. It's a veiled mechanism for control of women.
A bit of it, yeah. Or, like, even, like, with men. Like, I mean, going back to shaving your legs, like, if you shave your legs, you have to either be a swimmer or you're not a dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's basically codified gender stereotypes and, like, basically gender laws that everyone just agrees to because, like, we have to make sure everyone stays in their little boxes.
Mm-hmm. You're creating a whole host of, like, a giant behavioral suite of requirements for people that if you don't do that, it is a reason to shit on you.
Basically, yeah. It's just much bad. And, like, yeah, a lot of the times it is used to control women, even if you don't think of it that way. Like, part of it was developed for that purpose, and, like, that's the effect that has when it's being propagated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you need to spend 2 hours every day getting your makeup and hair just right. You need to always smell a certain way. Your clothes have to be perfect. Just stupid stuff like that. Like, grooming, like, everyone's got something that they feel comfortable with. Again, like, going back to the previous episode, I don't feel the need to do a lot with my face and hair. Like, ideally, I'd want to wear eyeliner a lot more, but it's not a needed thing. And, like, I don't need it to feel like me. And this goes back to, being agender, like, how the thing to do is be as androgynous as possible, or at least that's the thought process. Well, what happens when someone like me doesn't care about looking feminine? Like, am I just suddenly not a gender? Like, am I now open season to be shat upon because I'm not trans enough?
And I think that there's a how to phrase. There's like all of those standards for women are like mythologizing what a woman is, at the same time as it's
Like, women don't
u-
poop.
Yes, yeah. Uh, Things like all the hair grooming and like all the extra, like perfume as an example. Fuck perfume. I keep coming back to the idea that standards are so much lower for men because men are just allowed to look like whatever they look like.
Well, yeah,
Whereas,
exactly. Whereas women, like, they need to look like they put no effort into their look, but they can't look like they put no effort into their looks.
yeah, when you analyze people's actual preferences, it's not usually no makeup. Not usually the no makeup purism that like I occasionally like
Yeah.
will pick up. It's what they really want.
They want
is
natural looking makeup.
They want makeup that looks like no makeup,
Yeah, exactly.
which
It's-
is worlds apart. You just want to
Very
be more
much so.
effectively lied to. That's what you want.
Yeah, you want the facade of natural beauty while being one of those, oh, you'd look so much better without makeup people. Like,
Well-
you want to seem like such a feminist when you're not.
Yeah, well, guess what? All those women you're mythologizing, they fart and shit and pick their noses and like
Yeah.
they're just meat in the same way that you're meat.
Yeah.
You're skin and muscle and poop.
Yeah,
And
like
bone
to be
and
totally to be totally honest, like after the session, I'm probably gonna have a nice long poop.
Yep.
That's
Deep
what I
poop.
do. It'll probably be a nice long log, and like most people don't really want to hear that anyways. But it's like, it's especially important for me to say it as someone with the body that I have, because, oh God, like, and another thing, like, men know that women have periods or that periods exist, but they don't want to see it existing. They don't want to see pads around. They don't want to smell it. They don't want to see someone buying pads or talking about it, because that's so disgusting, guys. Whereas talking about your dick and jacking off isn't.
I mean, it kind of is. That's one of the big criticisms of furries is that they're way too sexually open.
Like, there's a certain level of talking about periods that is, yeah, it's a little too disgusting. But just, like, mentioning, yeah, my flow is heavy and it's kind of fucking up my day. That should not be a problem. That should be something you can talk about with your significant other so then they know what's going on with you. Not one of those things where it's like, I've got to pretend I don't have a fucking uterus until I have a baby.
If you're a dude who can't talk about periods, you're a coward.
If you can't go into a store and buy pads, you're a coward. I have no respect for you. If you can't hold your girl's purse, you're such a monster. Like, you're a wimp. You should turn in your manly man card.
The idea of man cards is dumb,
It is, yeah. I hate it.
says the person who just used the
Yeah.
same.
Well, because I was trying to figure out how to say what I was meaning to say, like, in a creative way without, repeating what I'd said the sentence before. So
That's always a struggle, yeah.
yeah. So I was reaching there, but yeah, I am 100% against, like, man card and, like, you have to do this to be a man, because it is fucking stupid. Like, one of the next gender revolutions needs to be finding a healthy medium between, like, being a sissy and being a toxic man. Like, how to be empowered without needing to put down other men.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just so much, women have come a long way from what they used to be because, well, frankly, they've had to come a lot farther than men, but there's still work to be done for men.
Mm-hmm. It's weird to me seeing guys that have been, like, bullied or gender policed and they hate it, but then will do it to others.
Oh, like it's human nature to not really think about your own your own actions as being akin to someone you hate. Like again, it's the people who end up like their parents problem. Like because when they're not in that situation anymore, they don't consider it. Like it doesn't matter because they're not someone who does it. Like and it feels like you're also disconnected from those feelings. So like you don't have fresh in your mind what it's like to experience something like that. So then when you do it to someone else, you feel like you can justify it. How my friend at one point, I don't know if he still feels this, but like where he was like, yeah, I'm gonna have my kids just listen to me just because I'm a parent, because I'm the parent. It's like there's a cognitive dissonance between what you experienced and what you intend to put others through, even if you don't fully understand what you're doing. And it fucking pisses me off. It's like it's a lack of self-reflection and introspection and knowing yourself. It's a lack of empathy, namely. You just don't care about anyone but yourself.
I will say, the one thing that I will absolutely never let go of, though.
What?
No unibrows.
I mean, someone must be into them.
Yeah, lots of people are. They're depicted in art from certain places. As a good thing, but like 100% no.
Like now, would you want your a prospective partner to shave their unibrow, and would you go?
No, I would very specifically want a prospective partner to not shave the unibrow because it will never change if you shave it. I was developing a unibrow and then tweezed it, and if you tweeze, it changes the hair follicle size permanently if you maintain it for a long enough time. And now I haven't had to tweeze my eyebrows in like 2 years. When it used to be like twice a week.
Interesting. Okay.
So what I'm telling you guys and unibrow ladies is that men, women, and beyond, is that there's hope for the unibrow. Do not give in to the unibrow. You can fight back.
I mean, if you like the unibrow, though, more power to you.
This is going to be one of those things where I actually need to qualify my message very specifically because I'm down for a lot of things, and unibrow is not one of them.
Well, it's still one of your personal things. Like, you just you're in the category of I want my partner to shave, kind of thing. No,
I want everyone on Earth to eradicate the unibrow.
I'm not gonna. No.
Can't follow me down into that place.
No, that's a little too radical for me.
Yeah, I expected that I would be a little too radical for your taste, given the rest of the conversation that we just had, and yeah. I bet it would also probably surprise a whole lot of people to know that I was that powerfully militantly against the unibrow. The unibrow, however, is an abomination that should be genetically erased by CRISPR.
Good night, everybody.
I would be down for unibrow targeted eugenics.
Not
the sterilization part, CRISPR. Yeah, we should CRISPR modify people so that they no longer carry unibrow delivering genes. As a unibrow carrying gene person, I will personally be the first in line to have that erased so that no possible descendants of mine, intentional or otherwise, may carry on the horrific burden that is the unibrow. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the same level as if you are obligated morally to have yourself CRISPR modified if you have, let's say, a 90% spawn rate for cancer. Like, if you have a 90% spawn rate for cancer, you should definitely have that modified. So that future people who come after you don't also do that. Just like a unibrow. What I'm saying is that unibrows are cancer. And I'm saying that in the most literal way possible. Okay, that's not true. I guess I could, like, there are more direct ways to say that unibrows are cancer, like comparing them to teratomas. That's not really cancer.
Wait a minute. So what's Scooter's excuse? Because she's all unibrow, basically. Shave your cats!
On that note, crotch shaving. For or against?
I like it aesthetically. Sometimes I'm too lazy to do it, but it's just like a normal part of my bathing routine that I just typically will do it unless I've got like I don't have enough time in my shower routine. I guess aesthetically I prefer shaven if I have to look at someone's genitals. But, you know, again, it's kind of like leg shaving. Just make sure you're clean down there. Whatever.
Yeah. So, this is the payoff to the contact point that I set up earlier, is that I thought if I have a preference for something, that I should do it myself with some consistency. So I tried like full clean crotch shaving for a while.
I feel like you've told me that before.
Yeah.
And
it's probably not any less surprising.
Yeah, no,
given
it's
the
not.
total lack of other forms of body maintenance that I do. So I tried it for a while because I thought if I'm going to have a preference, I should like earn it.
Yeah, you should like actually know what you're asking people to do.
Yes. And the conclusion is actually, perhaps unexpectedly, while it is still a preference of mine, and I prefer it to not, fuck that. No,
yeah.
I don't. That is too much work to ask for somebody to do. That would be annoying as shit.
Yeah, like I'll admit, like I don't seek perfection when I do shave because that is way too much.
I would go for like perfect coverage, but like not do it very often. That would and I will also tell you, it is way easier with a straight razor. I know that sounds like it would be more dangerous, but it really isn't. You have a lot of control with one of those things, as opposed to using something that has a flexible head.
Yeah. I think, if I'm going to be honest, the only time well, actually, no, I must have done it other times. The only times in recent memory that I can remember, like, trying, like, to shave fully was when I had to do my pap smears. I hated it.
Is that just because you're getting a doctor ankle deep?
Ankle deep. Well, I mean, yeah, but it's also like, someone's going to be looking at me down there. They're going to be judging me, even though I bet they see a lot grosser.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're a snatch doctor, then, you know, that means by default you must see people who are, like, purple and oozing.
Yeah. But it wasn't really, well, I guess he probably has seen worse. Like, he's a general practitioner, but
purple
enough...
and oozing.
I don't know about that, but... Whatever. Okay, I don't want to think about it. Like, no, please. Too taboo for me? Yeah. Defeat 4,000 enemies. Yeah, that sounds easy.
Yeah, well, I just did. I'm at 4,084. I hate this guy. I'm just gonna die again.
You died twice.
I'm just gonna die again. I'm gonna get a little further in and then just die. So, on the other hand, a trim, going back to like crotch maintenance, A trim is not that much work, and it lasts for a long time because the difference between a 1/4 inch and 3/4 of an inch is like it's noticeable, but that's a much longer window of time than 0 versus like, fucking hell.
A trim really goes a long way.
Yeah. And like it still looks neat that way, you know?
Yeah.
I am even willing to accept I'm totally willing to accept a flat 0 on the maintenance as long as it's clean.
Oh yeah, of course. Like, you know, if you don't shave, if you don't do anything else, just keep yourself clean, like for your health and especially for your partner's health, because you don't want to contract something, you don't want to get them contracting something.
Yeah.
Fireball!
What am I even doing?
You're getting killed by a fireball!
Fireball!
Yeah, it's a Phantom Reviewer reference. Yeah.
I'm just looking for health. Volga can fight Zelda. That's fine. Where's some health?
Jeez. Is there anything else to say about grooming and such?
I feel like I should have more to say about crotch shaving. Like, there's definitely something to be said for like the health aspect of it beyond just like cleaning and maintenance and paying attention to something, because America has basically so like crotch lice was a thing at one point that you had to worry about. If you've ever heard of crabs, that's what crabs are. Is crotch lice. They're extinct in the United States. North America,
good.
there are none left. They're all dead, and that's because of the very, very strict shaving regimen that basically everybody has internalized.
Wait, like, are you talking about like basically how like crotch hair has become like something you just don't have since the 70s?
Where people think that if it exists, it is gross.
Yeah, like I've read multiple times that like in the 70s, there used to be a time where crotch hair was like, you know, kind of expected, but then like after the 70s is like no one has it.
And I can kind of see the logic behind that, because that is what your body naturally does. It's the same argument that I make myself for leg hair. That is supposed to be there. It is the sign of being an adult. It's just, you should expect that to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And you shouldn't necessarily be fighting against it. But then I think of things like beards. Like, there's a difference between a well-cropped beard and like a Gandalf beard.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
They say different things.
like I think there's even a third one. Like there's a Gandalf beard, a well cropped beard, and too lazy to shave or even make it look nice beard.
Yeah, the lazy beard.
Yeah, the beard that I feel sometimes Digibro has.
He had once upon a time.
Yeah.
I have done a 1.5 year laziness beard once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in like the 4-inch territory. Something like that. It was like to here. It was to the point where nobody ever commented on it in my daily life generally. But I one time went to a Renaissance fair and somebody in costume was like, "Dude, nice beard," and I'm like, maybe it's time to shave.
Yeah, when you're getting compliments on your
At a
beard,
Renaissance fair.
Yeah, it's probably time. Hey, you did it.
I was, however, proud in that moment. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm getting a compliment on something that I wasn't even trying to do. That's pretty cool.
I wasn't even trying.
Oh, that's so me, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Just give me your sack. Yeah, there we go. Give me that silver sack.
Shut up and give me your sack.
Said nobody ever. Nobody likes balls.
No. Well, like, I don't know if it's not the case, but I've always heard that women like, no one finds dicks beautiful.
I've known some people who have a deep appreciation for dick.
Yeah?
Nobody likes balls.
Are they all guys?
No, only about half.
Okay.
3/4.
Oh, okay. It always seems like the people obsessed with dick are guys.
Yeah, well, given that it's such a large part of the what bullying has socialized your identity to be.
Yeah.
If the gender police is like, hey, dicks, you're gonna be like, maybe dicks.
Yeah. The gender police. Yeah, I get you.
So yeah, I guess what I'm saying here is I'm down for the full thicket, but I prefer like a clean beach. That got away from me really
Yeah,
fast.
I
Zamboni yourself.
Yeah.
Don't actually.
I prefer if you keep your genitals to yourself, please and thank you.
Keep your genitals to yourself, and ideally over there.
Yeah. That's over there's problem. My gosh, comic books. Okay, do you have anything else to say? I think I'm good.
I mean, it's basically the same argument for armpits, but like
Yeah.
on armpits, I'm definitely way more on the. Actually, you know what? I go roundabout on that, but I think I've pretty much settled down into the singular spot that I look at it almost exactly the same way that I do look at legs, which is beneath my notice. I don't care.
I typically never notice. When I see it, I can't help but feel like, ugh. But it's a preference that I kind of wish I didn't have, because it's like, I should be more woke than this, but I won't let myself have armpit hair. Like, it's such a quick and easy thing to manage when I'm in the shower that, like, unlike legs, I will get taken care of all the time.
Yeah, this is one thing where I definitely have to give it up for like different spots being different levels of ease of management. Shaving armpits is easier than shaving your face, even for me, who has like the full suite of tools. Did I ever mention that I have the full suite of tools? I've got multiple straight razors. I have a double-edged razor with a stropper, like the leather band, everything.
Maybe you showed me at one point, but no, I don't think I remember that happening.
Yeah. If I'm using a straight razor, I'll use the brush and like the whole shebang. But generally speaking, what usually happens is that I take my double-edged razor out of its double-edged razor holder. Oh, that's monstrous. I'll take my double-edged razor out of the body of the thing, and no, go away, fine. Put it in the stropper, strop it on my palm, then use that as a straight razor for the first pass, and then just do a little bit of cleanup with the double-edged razor. And if you've ever used a straight razor, you know how when you were first using a straight razor, how it felt kind of like flimsy and delicate? It's 100 times worse with a stropper. So you have to have perfect hands in order to use it at all on anything. Because it is very, very willing to flex to one side or another. So you will feel like you're gonna cut yourself 100 times more.
See, this is one of the times where I was glad that I was born with the body that I was, because I wouldn't want to have to manage like all that, and then I've seen bad shave jobs, and I feel like that'd be constantly me.
I do have to say, I like, for as much as I have the full shaving kit and everything, you can get by with just a double-edged razor, and if you're going to strop it, it will be cheaper. So like a $15 stropper will pay for itself very quickly.
Like, not just like the tools, but just having to shave your face, and then if you make mistakes, it's out there in the open for everyone. Whereas if I make a mistake like elsewhere on my body, well, I typically don't show those parts of my body, so it doesn't matter.
So, this is gonna make me sound like a huge dick, but I don't understand how people cut themselves while shaving their legs, because, like, none of the times that I've shaved my legs did I ever cut myself even a single time. It is much easier to cut your face than it is to cut your legs.
No comment.
Um,
I have had like some pretty major bleedings when shaving my legs, getting like a bit of my ankle.
Maybe it's just that, like, most of my leg shaving was done with that stropper or with a straight razor, and
Maybe.
it's so much easier to control.
It could be. Like, and I know, like, oftentimes when I cut my legs when shaving is when when I'm using a newer blade, and I'm not used to having, like, I'm not used to using the newer blade. Like, it's not as worn down as I expect it to be. That might be it.
Oh, right. I was halfway through a thought before we, like, tangented off, like, here.
Oh.
So, while I do have the full kit and everything, I have, like, 10 times as much as is actually necessary. And if you can get really good results out of just a disposable cartridge razor, even, if you just pay attention and try. But I will also say it's 100 times better having, like, the full kit, even though I only use about half of it.
At least you have options.
And while we're at it, even with just a disposable cartridge razor, it's still better to shave your armpits than it is to shave your face. There's so much
Yeah.
more surface area, and it's like
Yeah.
it's like 100 different curves and shapes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I need health. I need health. I don't want Midna to die. Midna's the best. Oh, I should go up here.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were that bad. Wow.
She's not as high leveled as some of my other characters.
I see. Okay. Anything else to say on this? Because I think I'm good.
Yeah, I'm kind of done. Yeah, I'm completely done.
Okay.
This subject is tapped out.
Name drop.
Roll credits.
Yeah.